What makes Middle-earth's forests, mountains, and rivers feel so alive? The answer lies in Tolkien's life experiences and his profound environmental philosophy. Tolkien grew up in Sarehole, near Birmingham, a place where the beauty of the English countryside met the looming threat of industrialization. This stark contrast between natural splendor and industrial sprawl inspired some of Middle-earth's most iconic locations, the peaceful Shire and the desolation of Mordor. And Tolkien's passion for nature wasn't just academic, it was deeply personal. He once fought to save a single poplar tree from being cut down. That love for nature's resilience is written all over Middle-earth. In this video, we'll explore how Tolkien's life, beliefs, and stories remind us why nature is worth fighting for, and how his lessons resonate even more strongly today. Sarehole, on the outskirts of Birmingham, was Tolkien's childhood home. At the time, it was a picturesque village surrounded by fields, streams, and ancient woods. Tolkien described these years as the happiest of his life, and the memories stayed with him, inspiring the Shire's peaceful rural charm. But Sarehole's proximity to the industrial Black Country meant that Tolkien also witnessed the darker side of progress. Factories, smog, and railways began encroaching on the natural world he cherished. This tension between the pastoral and the industrial profoundly shaped his imagination. The Shire represents the beauty of a simpler, harmonious life, while Mordor embodies the destruction wrought by industrial greed. In Tolkien's world, trees are more than just part of the scenery, they're living symbols of the societies they inhabit. The party tree isn't just a gathering spot, it's a symbol of the Shire's community and heritage. Its presence reflects the hobbits' connection to nature and their simple, joyful way of life. When the tree is destroyed during the scouring of the Shire, it's more than a loss of beauty. It's a sign of the Shire's deeper wounds under Saruman's influence. The White Tree of Gondor is another powerful symbol. Its health, or lack thereof, mirrors the state of Gondor itself. When the tree is barren, it reflects Gondor's decline and struggle. But when a new sapling is discovered and planted, it signals hope, renewal, and the restoration of the kingdom's strength. Through these trees, Tolkien emphasizes a deeper truth. The health of the natural world is inseparable from the health of the societies that depend on it. The forests and fields of Sarehole didn't just inspire Tolkien's vision of the Shire, they shaped his understanding of how trees and landscapes reflect the health of societies. This connection between nature and culture is most vividly expressed through the trees of Middle-earth, which Tolkien imbues with profound symbolic significance. Among Middle-earth's many wonders, the Ents stand out as ancient shepherds of the trees, both protectors of the natural world and symbols of its resilience. These towering, tree-like beings embody Tolkien's reverence for nature, serving as a powerful metaphor for environmental guardianship. But their story is more than a simple tale of protection. It's a nuanced exploration of nature's relationship with humanity and the cost of neglecting it. The Ents story begins long before the events of The Lord of the Rings. They were created at the behest of Yavanna, one of the Valar, who was responsible for all growing things in Middle-earth. Concerned that other races, particularly the dwarves, might harm the forests in their pursuit of industry, Yavanna appealed to Eru Ilúvatar to create guardians for the trees. The result was the Ents, beings as old as the forest they protect. This origin underscores their role as protectors, not just of individual trees, but of the balance and sanctity of the natural world. The Ents are living reminders that nature needs stewards, forces that will stand against destruction when others prioritize greed or progress over preservation. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Ents is their language, Entish. Unlike the languages of men or elves, Entish is slow, deliberate, and almost impossible for outsiders to learn. It's not just a mode of communication, it's a reflection of the Ents themselves, methodical, patient, and deeply connected to the rhythms of the natural world. Tolkien, a philologist by trade, used Entish to explore the idea that language is shaped by its environment. For the Ents, whose lives span millennia, a quick utilitarian language wouldn't fit. Instead, their words unfold like the seasons, mirroring their deep, almost meditative relationship with the forests. This linguistic complexity also serves as a critique of modernity's fast-paced, surface-level approach to communication. Through the Ents, Tolkien reminds us of the value of slowing down and truly connecting with the world around us. Then there's the mystery of the Entwives, a story that adds layers of poignancy to the Ents narrative. Unlike the Ents, who embody the wild and untamed aspects of nature, the Entwives were associated with cultivation and order. They tended to gardens and fields, working in harmony with nature to shape it into something productive. But by the time of The Lord of the Rings, the Entwives are gone, their fates unknown. Treebeard's lament for them is heartbreaking. We lost them and we cannot find them. This loss isn't just personal, it's symbolic. The disappearance of the Entwives can be read as a commentary on humanity's estrangement from nature. The wild and the cultivated, once in harmony, have been severed, and with that separation comes imbalance and loss. In the context of industrialization, the Entwives' absence takes on an even sharper meaning. Their departure parallels the destruction of cultivated lands by industrial progress, leaving behind a world that's either overrun or barren. Tolkien doesn't spell out their fate, but the mystery leaves readers to reflect on what it means to lose connection with nature. Of course, the Ent's most iconic moment comes in the Two Towers when they march on Isengard. This isn't just a battle scene. It's nature fighting back. Saruman's industrialization of the forests, cutting down trees to fuel his war machines, is the ultimate betrayal of everything the Ents stand for. What's striking about the Ents is their deliberation. They don't rush into action even in the face of destruction. Treebeard and the other Ents take their time discussing, debating, and considering the consequences. This patience reflects Tolkien's belief that decisions about nature shouldn't be made lightly, but when they do act, it's with overwhelming force, a reminder that while nature is patient, it won't tolerate endless abuse. The destruction of Isengard is a cathartic moment, not just for the Ents, but for the readers. It's a powerful metaphor for the idea that the natural world, though often underestimated, has the power to resist and reclaim. The Ents, with their patient deliberation and fierce defense of the forests, are one of the clearest embodiments of Tolkien's environmental ideals. Their story illustrates the delicate balance between respecting nature's rhythms and taking decisive action to protect it, a theme that resonates throughout Tolkien's broader environmental philosophy. Tolkien's works aren't just fantasy, they're deeply rooted in his environmental beliefs. Through his writing, he critiques the destruction caused by industrialization, celebrates the responsibility of stewardship, and reflects his own experiences of witnessing the degradation of rural landscapes. Let's unpack these themes and see how they shape Middle-earth and its characters. Tolkien's disdain for industrialization is most vividly embodied in the character of Saruman. At Isengard, Saruman transforms a once thriving natural haven into a nightmarish industrial hub, tearing down Fangorn Forest to fuel his war machines. The imagery is striking: black smoke, lifeless machinery, and a landscape stripped of all vitality. This isn't just a plot point, it's a warning. Isengard is a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked technological advancement and the consequences of exploiting nature for power. By turning Isengard into an industrial hell, Tolkien critiques humanity's tendency to prioritize progress at the expense of the natural world. Mordor, too, reflects the ultimate outcome of industrialization's destructiveness. Its barren, polluted landscape serves as a stark contrast to the Shire's harmony with nature. Through these depictions, Tolkien paints a grim picture of what happens when nature is disregarded in the pursuit of power. Tolkien doesn't just critique industrialization, he also offers a solution: stewardship. This philosophy is best exemplified in the character of Sam Gamgee, whose love of gardening and deep care for the earth embody Tolkien's ideal of living in harmony with nature. Sam's dedication to preserving life, whether it's nurturing the soil or protecting Frodo on their journey, reflects Tolkien's belief that individuals have a moral responsibility to care for the world around them. When Sam uses the gift of Galadriel's earth to restore the Shire after the Scouring, it's not just an act of renewal, it's a symbol of hope and the enduring power of stewardship. The Shire itself represents a community that thrives in balance with nature. Its people live simply, cultivating the land without exploiting it. This harmony starkly contrasts with the devastation wrought by Saruman and Sauron, emphasizing the importance of sustainable living. Tolkien's environmental themes aren't abstract, they're deeply personal. Growing up in Sarehole, near Birmingham, he experienced firsthand the encroachment of industrialization on the English countryside. In later years, Tolkien lamented, "The country in which I lived in childhood was being shabbily destroyed before I was 10. This sense of loss profoundly influenced his depiction of the Shire as an idealized rural haven. The Shire isn't just a charming setting, it's a tribute to the landscapes Tolkien loved and a lament for the ones he lost. Meanwhile, the industrialization of Isengard and the desolation of Mordor mirror the destruction he witnessed in his youth. Tolkien's experiences also shaped his belief that industrialization wasn't just an environmental issue, but a cultural one. He saw the loss of rural landscapes as a loss of identity, community, and heritage. This adds a layer of poignancy to his environmental philosophy, making it not just a plea for preservation, but a call to protect the values tied to the land. At its core, Tolkien's environmental philosophy is about balance. He saw the natural world as more than a resource. It was a living, interconnected system that needed to be respected and nurtured. His works remind us that the choices we make, whether to protect or exploit the environment, have far-reaching consequences. By critiquing industrialization, celebrating stewardship, and reflecting his personal connection to nature, Tolkien invites us to consider our own relationship with the natural world. His message, though written decades ago, feels more urgent than ever in the face of modern environmental challenges. Tolkien's warnings about the dangers of industrialization are more relevant now than ever. Deforestation in the Amazon, industrial pollution, and climate change are real-world echoes of Saruman's destruction of Fangorn Forest. Consider the scouring of the Shire. Tolkien didn't spare his beloved Shire from the effects of industrial greed. He wanted to show that no place, no matter how idyllic, is immune to exploitation. It's a poignant reminder that protecting the natural world requires vigilance and action. What makes Tolkien's message so powerful is its hope. Like the white tree blooming anew, his stories remind us that recovery is possible, but only if we step up as stewards of the earth. During World War II, Tolkien found himself fighting to save a poplar tree outside his home. The tree had been damaged but had grown back stronger, and Tolkien admired its resilience. When a neighbor wanted it cut down, Tolkien passionately defended it, writing in a letter, "Every tree has its enemy, few have any advocate." This wasn't just about one tree. For Tolkien, it symbolized the broader battle to protect the natural world. That same passion is reflected in his stories, where characters like the Ents and Sam Gamgee embody his love for nature and his belief in its worth. Tolkien's works are more than stories, they're a plea to value and protect the natural world. From the Shire to the forests of Fangorn, his landscapes remind us of what we stand to lose if we don't act. So here's the question. What part of the natural world would you fight to save? Whether it's a single tree, a local green space, or a global cause, Tolkien's stories show us that every effort matters. Because, as Middle-earth teaches us, nature isn't just a setting, it's the heart of the story.